by verity, by strength. What are we contemplating today? Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it. They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. It can be, if abused, but that can be said about anything. I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. I honestly don't know what I'd do. What about... And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. That seems a dangerous proposition. A commendable attitude. Bakonu, the author, unfortunately... I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous philosopher scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald. We should start on the groundbreaker. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I meditated, led sermons. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest. I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. So, of course.
Is it time for your regular daily period of unconsciousness? Would you like a reminder on when your next shower is scheduled? Make yourself at home, Captain.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast, that's loud.
You're an artist, Captain.
I'm just securing my ongoing experiments. And securing myself. Mind the mess. I haven't had a visitor since... in fact, I've never had a visitor.
Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed color. Potential side effect of the revival process. Very rare, but you never know. Right. Welcome to my little habitation, such as it is. I've got caffeinoids, cysty bits, if you're into that sort of thing. So, welcome. Make yourself at home. My secret hideout is your secret hideout. Not at all, my intrepid accomplice. I should thank you for tolerating my somewhat brusque manner. I only regret that I couldn't save more of your fellow settlers, what with being hunted by the board, and emptying my supply of necessary chemicals. Of course. What's on your mind? Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. The unexpected is to be treasured, but from a safe distance. Regardless, it's quite comfortable in here, you know. No, and I've been trying very hard to avoid making eye contact.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Wells. I'm Parvati Holcomb.
Wait, not another word. I don't want to know your name. I don't want to know who you are. Let's just enjoy our plausible deniability while it lasts, shall we? Why don't you just invite the entire colony to my secret, carefully concealed laboratory? It isn't as if I wanted privacy. Oh, fine. As long as you're vouching for their character and they aren't touching things. For what it's worth, you're a talented scientist after... Yes, indeed. Well done. Oh, goodness, no. I wouldn't survive 10 seconds in the blackness of the aether. Well, no, I imagine I'd last at least 12 seconds before I'd lose consciousness and die of hypoxia. I enjoyed the occasional aether wave drama in my youth. To answer your question, I'd rather stay right here in my lab. Because we've lost our way, the Hope is full of specialists. Unfortunately, the Hope's colonists have been frozen for decades. Well... Ah, you begin to perceive the truth. Yes, 10 years. That's how long the average human can remain in hibernation. But the conventional theories are wrong. Will do. I hope you're not thinking of it. They might... What? Aha! I see you found my portable molecular compression device, better known as a shrink ray. Find a target, point, shoot. Your target will shrink down into a manageable size, whereupon you may commence beating them to a pulp. Feel free to try it on a marauder sometime. The Sisney pigs make excellent test subjects, also surprisingly nutritious. That's my communications terminal. Reviving you from hibernation was my greatest accomplishment. Your odds of survival were a mere 28%. Ah, your old hibernation mask. Had to remove it, you know, in case you were prone to vomiting. What's on your mind?
Message from Dr. Wells. He'd like to congratulate you on finding a route to Monarch.
Cascadia is utterly seething with dangerous, highly aggressive creatures, more than capable of tearing you limb from limb. You'd have to be a lunatic to land in Cascadia.
Yes, Captain. Destination reached. The Groundbreaker.
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure. Welcome to Groundbreaker, by the by. Don't mind the heat. Got a few days before it reaches critical. I'm sure Miss Chief Tennyson will get it sorted before then.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick. I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses? He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back bay brat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this. I need a drink.
Just arrived? Head over to Customs. Wheeler needs to process you.
Going for a stroll around the docking base? Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Yeah, because I knocked my foreman out with a tossball stick. Look, if it's a crime to defend your favorite tossball team against slander and calumny, well then lock me right up. Only the fine... He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So... That's when I... Look, this was a long time coming. Well, Enjoy my freedom. Scround... Hey, not for nothing. Captain of the Unreliable. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off. Get... Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around.
Mechanicals all over, but they still got us sweating to move boxes.
If you're not crew, you're little people.
Deft hands, Cap. I wonder what that fella did to get the board so riled at him.
That's quite the impressive list of infractions.
Customs and inspection, right this way!
Identification, please. Everybody's got an ID. I'd tell you, no one's fallen for that line in about 30 years.
It's a good thing she didn't say that then, right? Right, sir?
Sure, kid. Right. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them. Oh, and if you're headed that way, Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it. A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. Much appreciated. Is there anything... The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure... Most places are on the promenade deck. Big door yonder, straight through security. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. You need anything else? You let me know. Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. 2 biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are most of those... Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
If you're thinking to make full-time jobs on Groundbreaker tend to be inherited. Are you pulling my leg? You got a funny sense of humor, friend. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together. Yep, Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing bay. Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, I guess that was the... Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Glad to help. Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. Sublight gives me the creeps. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. All right. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Not that he would, being a... They can't abide an independent township, especially not one they gotta depend on. We're the first and last stop out of this colony. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You mean the heat? Sure, we can make them fix it. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces.
The board wouldn't do that. Would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. Sure thing. Be seeing you.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the Scholar shipped in and out with.
I picked up this weird signal the other day. It was coming from Monarch.
Here we go again. No one lives on Monarch. It's a wasteland. You were hearing things.
No, seriously. There was a lot of static at first, but then this voice said his name was Graham?
Graham, right. Broadcasting on a dead world full of monsters. Now I've heard everything.
You know, it takes more muscles to frown than to smile.
Who told you that? Graham?
Asshole.
Unless you're here to file an incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering. Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. Oh, I will. Soon as the... You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. I do hope you're the lucky hunter. Still waiting to hear back on... Do I look like your gossipy best friend? I'm not here. We're the security force. The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit. Folks started calling...
Hi there. What can... If you're here to report a crime... I'm not so good at filing. Folks are We can't just let anyone walk in here. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sunita? All right, I guess. In it...
There it is. Just yank the drive, and I'll do the rest. Now that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I was looking for ended up.
What can Groundbreaker...
Keeping quiet, Cap. Deft hands, Cap.
What can Groundbreaker... Chief Junlei Tennyson. Her family's worked on it for...
What's she like?
Good as she can be, I guess. She could stand the...
No reason. Don't you trouble yourself over it, Captain.
That was very convincing, miss. I think your captain almost bought it. Sure is. Chief Tennyson don't generally hire outsiders for station jobs, but you could try asking at Sublight Salvage. Anything... They're run by Miss Hagen. I ought to warn you straight off. Let's say there's been times when I heard somebody needed a thing. Now let's say the one who had the thing suddenly found theirs missing, and the one who needed got one. If anyone asks, if anybody could prove them criminal, something gets nicked or someone turns up dead, against is a strong word. You might pay Sublight a shitload of bits for it, but that...
You must admit, there is a...
People do... Gets a mite boring at this desk, you know. Oops.
Oh, don't worry. Captain's real understanding.
Can't speak for the captain.
Awful That... Sure. And stuff from outside the system, too. That'd be awful weird. Alright. Less than there used to be. Search me. There's been a whole heap of good advertisements lately.
I hear scary things about Monarch.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. The board would like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted for your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur rain are the least of the horrors plaguing the surface of Monarch. Anarchists live as one with the animals, lawless, savage, and unemployed. The board's embargo ensures that nothing can leave the planet and threaten our hard-working citizens. This is Halcyon News, reminding you that there's no I in news, no we in Halcyon, and no Mercury in Saltuna.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Chocobar with caramel and pea-free nuts in it. It's time for a KYO. Rizzo Spectrum Vodka. Aftertaste the rainbow. Rizzo's Purple Berry Punch. You want a punch? We've got your punch right here.
When might we expect you out here again? Surface is already sold out again.
Who knows? Halls are scarce. Back in Triangulum, there were hundreds of space hands idle.
I heard piracy was up some around Halcyon, but I didn't think it was that bad.
I heard there's been a rash of conveyor losses on all routes.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
What do you think you're doing? Sorry for the misunderstanding.
Easy does it.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Rizzo's Pickleberry Fudge. A soft, sour candy shop around sweet pickleberry flavored scent.
Hey! Stop!
Get ready!
Seeking relief from the heat? Till June Lay gets those radiators. Stellar Bay proper? Tough to say. It's overrun with beasts, I heard. If you're aiming to get to Stellar Bay, but I ain't the one you ought... Only the usual. Marauders all over space. You ever wonder how folk who can't figure the bleeding edge technology of a spoon can manage to get ships into space? The radiators, they're fucked 10 ways to Sunday. And we're all sweating. Couldn't say, and I would... All I know... They're supposed to gather up all the heat the systems generate and vent it into space. Instead of the heat going where it ought, though. Weeks? Engineering. Don't know what... That's not for me to say. There's nobody who knows more about the station's guts. She doesn't come around here often. Nothing unique.
There's your drink, man. If you want anything else, just flag me down.
Just keep coming around. This seats my berth for the night. How's business around the station?
Same as everywhere, I guess. The Mardet's been talking about rising crime rates. I don't know.
Colonials are always itching for a fight.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following...
You know that sound when you've snapped on an injector clip? That's how you know your weapon loves you back. I got a full line of weapon modifications. Why, it gets you the...
All the better for performing a little percussive maintenance.
Self-improvement, including one's weapons, is always a worthy endeavor.
Take your basic Deadeye assault rifle. What if you like getting in close and making a lot of noise? Only takes a bit. Most ships have a workbench near the cargo hold. No and yes. When you install something, it pops in there real nice, but if you want to replace it, the originals tend to snap like plastic toys. Right here for... A what? Sorry, hon. Here at Bell's Shells, we just don't discuss impolite topics, and WARRANTIES tops the list.
What do you think you're doing? Oh, my mistake.
Great work. Careful.
Here they come.
Understood. I'll keep my head down.
I was wondering what they do with their waste. I guess they just chuck it down here. Where's it go? about I stay up top? You know, keep watch, okay?
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Do you have what it takes to defend your corporate township from the dangers of alien wildlife and the unemployed? Talk to your local manager about applying for military training and lend your life to protecting our wonderful brands and products. Military service does not guarantee full employment rights, tax breaks, military discount, health benefits, military burial, education.
Well, well, well. What fine treasures might await us in here?
Nice hit! Nice hit! I'll take your confession now!
Now, I don't say this lightly, but that is a work of sheer universal beauty.
This is how...
No one saw me trip over that, right?
Rizzo's Purpleberry Punch. You want a punch? You got your punch right here.
Here we go! Mako! Don't mess with us!
Smells awful. And not awful. Thank you, stranger. Shit, ain't that a relief? You have no idea how good the air on Groundbreaker smells until you've been trapped in a tiny bathroom with an overflowing toilet. Thanks again, friend. What usually happens on the... Well, actually, two things broke. First, time stood still. Ah, shit. You're gonna shake me down after... Fine. Here's every bit I've got. You're a...
My dad taught me some French, you know? Stuff about omelets and, fromage. I could take a look at that journal.
By all means. I would be astounded, yet astronomically in your debt.
Oh, yeah, there's nothing at all about eggs and cheese in here. Sorry.
Very helpful. Thank you.
What? I had nearly figured out how to run that bypass job. Now I've lost my concentration. Got us! Here's a little trick I learned in prison.
Everyone all right? Wow, you got that?
I know she's in there, Mfuru. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I am not making a scene.
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene?
See, Mfuru? Let me get one thing straight. As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long, and she's apparently not receiving visitors.
Be my guest, if...
What seems to be... Not without dispensation. We don't have the... Regrettably, we are dependent on the board for... We'd nearly signed a supply agreement with... If only my other patients had so many inquiring after. The records say Miss Doyle checked herself in and requested I admit no visitors. She's not my patient. Take care.
Can't say I've seen... If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. He must be referring to ear... I'm beginning to what... I'd be great... Last he told me, he was taking a shortcut by Scylla. You look... Keep hanging... What kind... You have...
I can't hardly think with Dr. Fenhill's yelling.
Keep up the good work.
You ever wonder if maybe folks keep doors closed for a reason?
To the last ratchet on rotten time. Leave me in peace! You hull-headed quacks do... What? Why? Everything's fine. We're all fine here. No need for her to be worrying her pretty little head about me. I'm just terrible, dreadful sick is all. Got a cough that won't quit and sores all over my body. Criminy. Alright, okay. Seems I've got to do something before Ellie goes jabbering my...
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with... See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment. What? Think? No. I recognize a contracted killer when I see one. Alright, I'll fess this part up too, if it means you'll help me. 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood tier diamond last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond. Anywho, I barely made it out with... Udon Bedford's the board guy on the station. Thanks for help. Or I guess I should say, Ellie is one.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? I don't want any trouble out of you.
Dang, that's impressive. I had a question about your plan, Mr. Vicker.
Of course. The cosmos is generated and directed by the universal equation, also known as the Grand Plan. By contemplating the teleological order of things, one can achieve verity. Oh, right. You had a question?
Never mind. That about answers it.
Carry on.
Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular...
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
We were in a holding pattern for 2 hours just to get in.
Any word on Jesse?
Good luck. I'd go with you to see the board's rep, but I'm not great with soft skills.
Sorry about the heat. Chief Tennyson will get the radiators fixed soon. Oh, and it's not the best choice. It's Spacer's Choice. Taste the freedom. A lot of slogans. Heard of it? My orientation Aetherwave showed that famous Saltuna cannery. That's suspicious. So, what can I get? I'm bound to satisfy headgear-related inquiry. Oh, I'm having a stellar day. And not just because I'm legally obligated to say so. I can see all of the top quality. Spacer's Choice regrets that we don't sell toothpaste at this time. Sprite wash, mouthwash, and Mantafloss are among the... Don't miss out on these deals. Trouble sleeping? Try our Lunar Eclipse mix. The blast will... Add an additional 10%. At Spacer's Choice, we care about your health and emotional well-being. That's why we put Martin through 6 years of vendor school, only to make him wear this hat. You would never ask if you knew what it's like in here. I mean, why anyone can be... Even if my contract didn't forbid it, I think it's part of me now. Now, are you ready? Damn it. No slogan for that one. If there are self-made... Now, if we're done with the chit... It's fine. Speaking of interest... Anything and everything. Have a look.
How do you do? And welcome to the Rest and Go. We used to be the Go and Rest, but folks never knew when to leave. Sorry. Oh, you can't miss her. Right behind you, number 2. First unit on the left, or second unit from the right, depending on which direction you count from. Fine, as long as the board keeps its grubby mitts to itself. Chief Tennyson holds the ship together, the Promenade holds our economy together, and our Chief Tennyson has an independent streak. There's a reason the board's embassy is a glorified shoebox, while our local garbage collectors. She freely admits she planted her roots in Groundbreak. Of course, most of our... I try and steer clear of that creepy fellow in the moon mask.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastards.
Yeah, no one wants you on Groundbreaker.
These stairs are board property. Disperse now, or I'll detain you for trespassing.
Oh, real scary. You're really gonna arrest us on our station?
Yeah, this is Chief Junlei's ship. You don't own shit here.
Step back! I'm required by board bylaws to use excessive force.
The Mardettes would space you for trying, you waste of O2 scrubbers.
Yeah, O2 scrubbers.
Look, just get out of here before I tell your captain what you've been getting up to on the clock.
Ah, whatever. We got a date at the Lost Hope anyway.
Is this really what you want to be doing with your life, Marcy? Guarding stairs for that walking mustache Udon fucking Bedford? I gotta get off this detail. Hey!
Who'd I piss off to get assigned here?
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the board and its agents would be more content, sitting at the top of the system's food chain as they are.
Tossball finals are scheduled to air soon, but a scandal has rocked the league and thrown this pivotal game into question. Both teams have tested negative for performance-enhancing stims. A tossball first. Coaches and referees are debating how and if this behavior could lead to an unfair advantage. This has been Halcyon News.
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no. Oh. He was my... You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy. Ah, that's just like him. Tell me. Oh. Off. Right. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted poster. You haven't read the posters? Well, Alex knew, or he said he did, and you have it. That's... well, that's just terrible news. Oh, It's information on the whereabouts of... It's fine. Now, if... Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only
Kind and efficient. Can't say I disapprove.
I think you may have underestimated the size of Miss Doyle's debt. I am extremely anguished, Captain.
I doubt Mr. Bedford's ever felt real pain.
Be careful you don't irritate my guards, Vicar. You might not like their rather narrow understanding of what constitutes excessive force. I'm glad we could come to an accommodation. You may inform... Now. I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the Groundbreaker. I have...
Oh, good... No. Best to... Law, but it's miserable. Chief Tennyson is deplorable conduct. Oh, you've noticed my friends. Wonderful. They're here to... Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status, and... When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes, I do. A luxury stateroom. Oh, good. As this office is the primary embassy for the board...
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. At least you finally got your chance to square our debt. That ought to make you smile for once, huh?
Nothing makes me happier than being even. Except being right. That's nice, too.
Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. You sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are cleared.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the... If you're looking... If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, but we can say I'm... We were on a smuggling run planetside when our point man bet me I couldn't outrun a mantisaur. And, as you can probably guess, the thing was faster than it looked. Yeah, but... It's like people touching a cookie and leaving it in the box. It's just one of those things that gets under my skin. You won't be sorry.
Dr. Fenhill, glad you opted to join us.
Something I can... Doc...
Harassing?
You ever...
Then it's lucky for us both that I've found gainful employment with someone who appreciates my ingenuity.
Good. Now is... Take...
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story. Remember Auntie Claire?
I'll keep it down.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regular advertisement for the following story. Some townships have asked Halcyon News to make a statement regarding...
Damnable thing about living on a space station. No pigeons to
Rest
feed.
assured, the far-sighted corporate
Oh, you
leaders of
can
Halcyon
feed the
have
sprats,
tailored
sure
their
enough.
product lines to be selected
But
to
then the
follow
neighbors start moaning about
Scheduled
hygiene.
scarcity is a premium feature of colonial life. Your mandated duty as a good citizen of Halcyon.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a single natural ingredient, or an oven. Just like store-bought. I've got a lovely little throw pillow. Just something I toss together. Like to keep my hands busy. gracious. I was just sitting down for tea. Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in. You've certainly been blessed with an abundance of sass, haven't you? But it's your interstellar currency I'm interested in, not your nethers. Phineas, that old kook. He was quite the dancer back in his prime, did he tell you? Real light on his feet. Real light in the wallet, too. He still owes me a small fortune. Laws. Maybe I should charge you double. Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms... might want to acquaint yourself with June. You'll find her freighting an engine. Ain't that just a treat? So, you know Edna, over in engineering? On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Wonder what kind of haul they left behind.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain. Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around. Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide. Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs. Neither do mine, dearie. Old Gladys knows the value of good work. You'll be compensated accordingly, I can promise you that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies. Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me. Here, take a candy with you.
CNP Borscht Pocket.
Plugged the last of the O2 leaks. I'm ready for downtime.
Nasty encounter you had down there. Sorry, man. Fucking pirates, right? How you planning to spend your night off? Some lonely young Mardette with starships in their eyes?
Figured I'd get in some quality time with Vera's stock.
Let me know when you're heading out. We'll get drinks the night before.
They got stuff in here I ain't seen in ages.
Some freelancers sneer at Sublight for setting up a storefront, but they rake in the bits.
Miss Lilia takes good care of us, see? The authorities stay off our tails.
Miss Ellie, Dr. Finhill. I noticed your pistol's been making funny noise.
What are you talking about? I oil it every night.
Well, look here. Your slide's not recoiling fully? You might be due for a new spring. I could take a look, maybe fix it for you.
Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back.
Oh, no. I mean, it don't cost nothing. I got a spare spring in my pocket here, even.
Everything's got a price.
Welcome to Sublight Salvage and Shipping, a legitimate business for legitimate consumers. You the one flying the Unreliable? Money. We got it. The Steve Doors want it. I'll take that as a yes. Miss Lily has been expecting you. I'll unlock the door. Hey, Doc Fenhill. Glad to see you ain't moved on from Groundbreaker yet.
Hey, Tobias. How's the leg?
Good as you left it, ma'am. Still bends and everything. Took some extra lead while I was on a job. Ellie here patching me up good. The other guy thought his ship was perfectly operational. I told him it was salvage. We disagreed. I won.
Workplace hazards, Captain. Pretty routine around here.
Sure am. A few years back, they got me started on simple acquisitions. You know those latches they put on cargo bays ain't worth a damn? These days, I stick to HQ and look after Miss Lilia.
So you're the new captain in town. I was hoping you'd make your way to my office. Saves me the work of hunting you down. Lilia Hagen, CEO and Executive Director of Aggressive Operations. I'm guessing you already know about Sublight, otherwise you wouldn't have come. Charmed. It's nice to see the Unreliable again. Useful ship. Hawthorne was my contractor. I'd recognize that leaky boat of his anywhere. Is Ada still at the helm? I don't know how many times I told Hawthorne to restore that smartass to factory settings. I have a salvage job for someone light on corporate ties with a reliable set of wings, but there's a catch.
Wouldn't be much fun without one.
If you have a nav key to Stellar Bay, the job's yours. Interested? First, an embargo that's been active ever since the board pulled its forces off-world. Few regulations, plenty of freedom. And second, all the goodies that no one had time to pack. I like that initiative, but ease back on the throttle. Gladys at the Rest and Go might have what you need. If there's anything else, be quick about it. Time is bits. These days, the scrap business all but runs itself. Gives me the time to expand our interests into other sectors, where I can let my hair down. Our field is persuasive acquisitions. At least that's how my legal advisors tell me to phrase it. Not all of our salvage is abandoned when we find it. Sometimes it takes a polite conversation and a shot across the bow. You know, legal formalities. Your words, not mine. Hey, careful with the C word around here. I like... Sublight occupies a legal blind spot. No one knows what we're licensed to do, and that gives our little business some freedom. But let's not tempt fate. Very. I have this thing about numbers in spreadsheets. Grids in general. I like to think of myself as the last honest businesswoman in Halcyon, but I'll settle for being the most organized one. Ask. Be seeing you. Make sure you aren't followed on your way out.
Real good care of your pistol, Dr. Fenhill.
I oughta. It's kept me alive this long.
I mean, you treat it nice. Makes me happy to see, because I feel the same way about my wrench.
Look, it's a tool that does a job. Feelings got nothing to do with it.
If you're hungry, you've come to the right place. I've got a fresh ground batch of spratwurst cooking. They're terra-fried to lock in the juices. How about a grinder's dozen? You know what sprats are? Space rats. The laboratories of Spacer's Choice found a use for this limitless frontier resource. Sprat meat is plenty tasty when properly prepared. We grind them up in sausages, then terra-fry them in their own juices. Terra-frying is a Spacer's Choice brand secret. A mix of 13 herbs and spices, plus a dash of modern chemistry. Absolutely not. Spratwurst and all related terms are registered trademarks of Spacer's Choice. Boar, the other meat, is a registered trademark of C&P. Everyone knows our company and theirs are nothing alike. Legally? No. The terra-frying method was developed and marketed by Spacer's Choice. Between you, me, and this grinder, I've been through lean times. If there's one thing you learn on tramp freighters, it's how to make near anything edible. Might be that this old space hand put a few words in the right ears, and could be that Spacer's Choice liked sticking it to C&P by R&D'ing our own special meat. Just as well, near about time for me to go check on the trap. I mean, to unload another crate of farm-fresh sprats. Fresh from the grinder, any hour.
You look like someone who's taken their share of cuts and bruises. Need some armor? Maybe it's a bit secondhand, but that's only a testament to its durability. We also have a line of specialized melee weapons, for those times you have to repel boarders but don't want to risk a bullet through the hull. Not me, but it's in my blood. After the cross... I was born into corporate labor, but I'm the first one of my family to buy my way out. Everything I sell is fresh from the forge. Technically, the metal formed billions of years ago, but it's freshly in this shape.
Hearty greeting, potential customer. Why this unit is... This unit is programmed to simulate shock at such assertions. Shock simulation non-functional. A trouble ticket has been filed. Shock simulation restored. Initiating shock subroutine. How dare you? Shock subroutine complete. Estimated guilt level of customer increased by 35%. Resuming protein dispensation protocol. May this unit beginning dispensing sequence. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy. Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your...
Those XF-411s? And an old Yakita 3.7? You think they'd let me peek at the power plant?
Is it just me, or is it hot in here? Junlei's gotta be having a bad day.
Remember that lack of productivity is not a victim's crime.
Hotter than usual in here. Hope we're not catching Junlei on a bad day.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. No, it isn't. It's a mess. But it's my mess, so I'll take the compliment. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? Interesting. The powers that be. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. Dr. Fenhill, I hope you've reconsidered my offer to stay on full-time.
I'm trying to live a more balanced life. Gun in one hand, scalpel in the other.
I already knew it'd be easier to teach an automech heart surgery than to change your mind. Fair travels, Ellie.
Groundbreaker's a small town in a big ship.
We don't see a lot of competent surgeons on Groundbreaker.
I don't like to put a label on things. Let's keep it casual.
If you ever decide to settle down, there's a home for you on Groundbreaker. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. My engineers have managed to keep the heat to livable levels. Only the board has access to new parts. They want us to sweat, thinking that'll soften me up for a bad faith deal. If you'll excuse me, they can go fuck themselves. The board isn't helping and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. You must not have been here long. In house, that means I'd have to negotiate with the board. Damn right. Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content to die last. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. I have. I can't afford to lose any Mardit. Nice and pragmatic. Good.
Great work.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled advertisement for the following story.
Good law, the heat in here is so unbearable I can hardly even concentrate. Junlei better hurry up with those damn repairs already.
Hard-working citizens of Halcyon. In these profitable times, we need only look to one another to find examples of honest labor and earnest work ethic. But there are those who cheat and swindle their way through life. It breaks my heart to see the fruits
Where the
of
hell
your
have you
labor
been, Private?
stolen by
You've
my
missed 3
master.
shifts without notice.
I was
fixing that toilet
is Phineas Wells.
The one above the Lost Hope?
That was days ago.
The fucking door! It locked behind me. And it wasn't until this freighter captain found me that I...
You're lucky the chief would have my ass if I spaced you. Now get back to work, Private.
Right away, sir.
You should clear out. Engineering's a dangerous place to wander until we get those radiators fixed.
Suppose it's time to reevaluate my career goals.
This story brought to you by Halcyon News. All the news that's fit to broadcast.
Who there? Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king.
No sudden movements. This guy's crazy, even by my standards.
Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Burning to death is one of the most painful ways to go. Just in case you needed a reason to get us out of this.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice.
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. We were just sitting in a circle, sucking down exhaust fumes and toasting to the memory of our brain cells, making this broken angel fly again. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. Under its skin, this ship is all poison and darkness. Lead bones, asbestos muscle. Maybe you're right. You've got the run of the kingdom. They rejected it again, didn't they?
Rizzos wouldn't know innovation if it bit him on their backsides. You're a natural inventor, Mr. McRed. Don't let him get you down.
Kind of you to say, engine gal. You're a lighter in dark times. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. That's bureaucracy. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Listen to the fire, though. Alive or dead. My flame? Shit. Little flick here got me started on the...
Work smarter, not harder.
Don't worry, Mr. McRed. We'll treat Mr. Flick extra nice on account of he's your friend.
I'll miss my baby Pyro. but it beats losing my head. This court needs its king, and I'm one of a kind. Keen eyes you got there. Sunita gave me this lighter. We had a carnal understanding a few years back, and she wanted me to have something to remember her by. You can come and go.
When I look at you, all I see is light.
Smells kind of like old Bess's outfit pipes.
You get that automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? It hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
It's so cozy.
You're the first person I've seen who talked their way past McRed. That may not sound like much, but take my word for it. Wow. I'll get back to my...
Boss says you're all right. McRed gave me a taste of the good stuff. I've been
Careful with that shit.
It's crazy to live in this universe. Crazy cosmos. Crazy cosmos.
You okay, Captain?
find a new friend. This worm fixation is screwing with her bottom line. My backside still smarts. Does everyone get branded when they join McRed's crew?
Nope. Your ash is a priceless canvas now that it's home to an original McRed.
I guess I'm honored.
Nice and easy. What do you say we get out of here before we join whoever that was on the grill?